So I'm sitting there watching the Jays spring training game against the Yankees. I'm watching Chris Bassett and Marcus Stroman go at it, and a lot of the regulars for the Yankees and some of the regulars for the Blue Jays. Good stuff. Dan Shulman comes on the mic and is like, oh, according to Buster Only, Jays are signing Joey Votto. Whoa, okay. Joey Votto, man. I mean, there's a reason this dude was almost retiring. He didn't want to retire, but he almost did. And I looked at his numbers the last couple of years, and I'm like, boy, pretty shaky. And I look on Twitter, and I see Buster Only tweeting out at 1:12 p.m. that Joey Votto has agreed to a non-roster invite with the Toronto Blue Jays. He is back, according to Buster Only. Then, about 16 minutes after that, Joey Votto tweets out, and boy, his tweets have been so cryptic. His offseason's been wild. I'm excited about the opportunity to work my way back to the major leagues. It's even sweeter to attempt this while wearing the uniform of my hometown team, the Toronto Blue Jays. Now, I'm on two sides of this, okay? Because on one side, he's 40 years old, and your first base DH slot is pretty jammed up. Then there's the other side of me that is like, last 2 seasons, he's been quite hurt. 91 games in 2022, and only 65 games last season. Now, it could be because he's like 40 years old that that's happening. But with those 2 seasons, like I look at the home run numbers, and I look at those for a specific reason, because the Jays do not have very much of it. 11 home runs in 91 games in 2022. 14 home runs last year in only 65 games. Now, you look back to his career numbers, and they're ludicrous. So I'm going to start with the negative side of it and why I'm confused. And then I'll get to that positive side of it, okay? So let's start with the negative. Or the scratch my head part, I guess, is the better way of putting it. He's 40. And no one has signed him to this point, so there's that. And his last 2 seasons, 689 OPS in 2022, 747 last year, both below average. Not great. And other than those 2 seasons and 2019, where he still had a 768 OPS, those are the 3 below average seasons he's had. And 2 of them are the most recent ones, where he hit 205 in 2022. And I get it. Averages are meh right now. I get it. But a 205 average and a 202 average last season, it's not great. However, now let's get to the positives, because there are more than no, forget that. The other negative is the first base DH spot is so jammed up. Vladdy, Justin Turner, and I'm sorry, let's not with the Justin Turner stuff. He's not going to play much third base, okay? You're going to see a lot of Espinal, a lot of IKF. That's going to be your infield, whether you want it or not. That's just the way it's going to be. So Justin Turner's that first base DH. And then you have Daniel Vogelbach, left-handed bat, power bat. Already hit 2 home runs in the spring and hit a home run off of Garrett Cole and pissed him off. Who can not love that? So for Joey Votto, where do you fit? Like, are you going down to Buffalo and working your way back? I mean, he did say that in his tweet. He wanted to work his way back to the major leagues, which is great. I hope he does it. Now let's get to the positive side of things, because he could have a real impact. Because on the positive side of it, he's Canadian. And Jays fans love it. And I swear Mark and Ross got in a room and was like, okay, Jays fans hate our guts right now. Let's bring back a Canadian. Let's bring back a Canadian Hall of Famer. 40 or not, let's bring him back. Maybe it'll give us some positive vibes. And so far on Twitter and media, it kind of looks like there's a little bit. So there's that part of it. Also, when you play well in this city and you wear the maple leaf and you are Canadian, you are loved that much more. Look at Russell Martin. Was he a perfect player? No. But he's your warrior dog behind the dish that Jays fans loved. And obviously was a part of the 2015-16 season, so that's another reason why Jays fans love him. Also, I've looked at his career numbers, and I understand the last 2 seasons of the most recent stuff, and I completely understand that. But let me go through his career stats, because they are ludicrous. Some of these are in, minimal sample sizes, like his first season in 07, he had a 907 OPS, again, only like 20-odd games. But then after that, 08, 874 OPS. If you want me to just go off of OPS pluses, because people seem to like that a little bit better. In those first 25 games of his career, or what was it, 25? 24. OPS plus of 127. Nuts. 08, 125. 09, 156. 2010, 171. 2011, 155. 2012, 177. 2013, 156. 2014, 2014, 125. 2015, 174. 2016, 160. 2017, 167. Even in a down year, in 2018, 126. And then 2019 is where it starts to dip a little bit, right? You see 195, excuse me. He has 95 OPS plus, so below average. But then he bounces back with a 107 OPS plus. And then in 2021, was that? Yeah, 139 OPS plus in 2021. So finds it again. But then the last 2 seasons of 89 and 99, that's where people get the question marks growing. But those OPS pluses are ludicrous numbers. Absolutely ludicrous. Let me do some research, actually. Let me just search up Vladimir Guerrero Jr. real quick. Because I'm very curious. You heard me talk about a wall of like 130s, 140s, a couple 150s, 170 at one point for Joey Votto in his career. What was Vladdy's finalist MVP season? 2021. 167. Last year, Vladdy had a 117 OPS plus last season and a 133 the year before. Joey Votto was in and around there for most of his career. Now, again, the last 2 seasons haven't been good. But what do you think, Jays fans? I'm reaming off all those numbers. Again, you have a crowded spot there. He is 40. Do you think he impacts his team at any point this year? Do you think anything happens with Joey Votto? We'll see. Let me know all your thoughts, comments down below, because it's very interesting. Very interesting signing for the Toronto Blue Jays. All right, so you know what, guys? That's going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and, hell, are on either side of the Joey Votto stuff, hit that like button. I do appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button. You guys not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the video, your thoughts on Joey Votto being a Toronto Blue Jay. Twitter, Discord, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff is down below. So follow up there if you're not done so already, and I will talk to you guys Raptors edition tomorrow, 10 p.m. tip-off between the Raptors and the Trailblazers. Leafs edition tomorrow in Montreal against the Canadiens, 7 o'clock puck drop there. And as for the Blue Jays, I'll talk to you guys on Sunday, so a couple days. Jays edition recapping this past week's games. They won again today. Very good pitching performance all around by the Jays and some minimal offensive positives. We'll talk about all that stuff on Sunday. All right, so thank you so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And I don't know, we're excited for another Canadian to come back home. We'll see. We'll talk to you guys then.